75% of your customers, or at least the average dealership, will defect from you within 3 years, or at 3 years. And that's a high number. And when I go around and I ask dealers all the time, what is your single biggest challenge in selling more cars today? The most common answer I get is traffic. And the reality is, dealers have a two-way traffic problem. They never have enough coming in, and they sure have too much going out. So what I'm going to show you today is a long-term growth strategy that's easy to apply, it's going to be sustainable, and more importantly to you, it's going to produce results for you now, immediately. We're going to do that by focusing on 3 primary goals. The first thing we're going to do is we need to increase your active customer base. What I mean by that is, not only do we want more customers buying from you actively, we want more people actively using your service department. The second goal we're going to focus on is we have to increase the average profit per transaction in both sales and service. How do we get our average RO up? How do we get our average grosses up on the front end? 3, let's increase how often customers buy from you. These are the only 3 ways any business can grow. So we're going to focus and keep it simple and focus on these 3. Look what happens if we're able to look and only increase each one of these a small percentage. Let's say 10%. Let's say, for instance, you start with 1,500 active customers, and in 12 months' time, you're able to increase that by 10%. You're looking at 1,650 customers by the end of the year. At your gross average, if your normal gross average is $2,000 and you increase it by 10%, you're looking at $2,200. If we can convince your average customer, instead of buying 0.35 cars a year from you, and increase that 10% to 0.39, and then multiply these up, you are looking at a gross profit increase of almost 34% a year. And by focusing on these 3 things, that's how we're going to do this for your store. All right? So what we're trying to do is set up an overall marketing and sales strategy for you that accomplishes these 3. First thing we're going to do is we're going to aggressively go after new business. If I throw in 100 new customers a month, but I lose 100, I'm not growing your active customer base. Does that make sense? We're going to do that by going after conquest customers, but more importantly, 57% of your database owns 2 or more cars, and less than a third buy their second or third car from you. So we have to have a plan in place that improves your customer retention. How are we going to do that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attract buyers and negotiate less. We're going to attract buyers who are more motivated to buy. I need to find buyers that are willing to pay you more and negotiate less. And if I can do that, you will make more money per car. Would you agree? By us doing all of this, it allows you the time to do what's most important. All right, and capitalize on the opportunity. More importantly, it lets you focus on what you're good at, selling cars.